Hello to you. Oh, jeez. Did you hear that? I started. Hang on. The live stream of the Eric St. Show podcast. Brought to you this time around by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. I think I need to warm my voice up appropriately. This is what, like, you do. People who, sorry about that. They're like, I have to warm my voice. I always just go for it. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Call them 231-332-6505. NMLS number 3035. Never been a better time than right now to go get a mortgage. Everybody keeps telling us that with this crazy pandemic that the bottom's going to drop out on the world before long. We're going to be paying 30% interest on a mortgage, and it hasn't happened. Just relax. Reach out to Mario if you're in the market for a mortgage. Anywhere in the United States, call Mario, 231-332-6505. You can I'm really showing my age lately with the voice. It's just becoming a mess. It's funny because I listened to, not a lot, but bits and pieces of the lost Zane recordings. Which, by the way, Pellerito, do you have any more show rundowns? I know you're busy pulling off pranks, but and I hate to ask you this, no pressure, but if you do get another listing of the show rundowns for the lost Zane recordings, I think I'm in need. Not like you're busy or anything, though, right? The guy actually goes and has to listen to the old editions of the Lost Zane recordings and then write down like a synopsis. And then he sends it to me. And then I go, okay, thanks. Because I don't have the time to listen to him. So he does that for me because he's awesome. But if you don't, it's okay. I don't want you to put pressure on yourself. I know you would do that. Because you're awesome. He knows everything that's coming up on the Lost Zane recordings. But if you're too busy, I understand. But please do it. But anyway, listening back to those old ones, my voice on that show was, it seems like I have more energy on this show than I did on that show. Like when I listen back to the things that we talked about and just the actual tone of the voice. I sound older. I sound more gruff now. I think I'm pushing my voice harder now than when I did back then. Except for when I yelled at Ben. Blue Frost IT is the managed IT service provider for the show, and here's what they offer that can help you. First of all, they can build you a computer. They can repair your computer if you have any issues at all with your tech. For your workplace, they can build you an entire tech setup, all the computers, all the printers, everything you need, wired appropriately for your workplace. You might not make that decision at your workplace, but your boss does. And you can recommend that if they ever get to the point that they're like, hey, we gotta upgrade our tech, please throw out the name Blue Frost IT, key sponsor of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Anything at all you need done with the computer, whether for your home or for your work, call upon Blue Frost IT. 616-200-85. My God, what the hell is wrong with me? 616-200-8550. Or reach out, info@bluefrostit.com. Sometimes I have a brain fart. Thank you to my friends at Blue Frost IT. Online at bluefrostit.com. And then, of course, the Kent County Health Department encouraging you to get your all the information you need concerning COVID, whether it be testing or the vaccine or whatever it may be. Kent County Health Department, it's been quite a year for them, going on one full year of all this pandemic nonsense, but still, it is what it is. They're doing their best. AccessKent.com/health. AccessKent.com/health. All right. It's January 14th. That's a big day in my life, and I'll explain that in a second. This is huge. One of the biggest days that I have to acknowledge each and every year. January 14th, 2021. We bring this show to you from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now.
Zaniacs. Here's a man who's usually wrong, but he doesn't care. Here's a man who
eat things that'll make a billy goat puke.
You're now rocking with the best. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast, and here's your host, Eric Zane.
That's how you do it right there. That's a professional intro from the one and only Kevin in Muskegon. Boring Dean sent me a couple. I was reminded of it yesterday. So you'll be hearing those before you know it. If you ever want to send me an intro, just have at it. I got to write down, I think Matt Kuiper sent me one. Very insulting to his brother, Kevin. Send them my way, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Just open up a voice recording. Or, hell, shoot a video. I don't care. I can pull the audio off the video. This is the Daily Podcast, where we discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures, Monday through Friday. Okay, here's how you get the show. I like to cover this at the start of every show. Okay. First of all, you can download the audio podcast wherever you get podcasts. Okay, Eric Zane Show. So if you're getting this on one of the video live streams right now, and you're like, man, I'd like to listen later on to previous archive stuff, whatever it may be, just search me, Eric Zane Show, wherever you download podcasts. Subscribe to it, and rate it and review it, please. If you miss any of this, you can also just go to ericzaneshow.com, my website, and hit where it says free podcast, and it'll take you right through it. Hit subscribe, and whatever podcasting app that you want to listen on, it all opens up for you. Just follow along. Are you the type that's like, I went to ericzaneshow.com, but I'm stuck. Help me. It's like, you haven't read. I know you know how to read, okay? Just read and fumble around with it if you have to. If you're not that great with tech, fumble, okay? Just fumble, bumble, your trial and error, you'll figure it out. You can do this. If Adam in Houghton Lake, Michigan, who, before this podcast, the only thing he knew of in the world was a radio. He didn't even know that the internet was a thing, okay? You see, when you get north of Newaygo, Michigan, technology hasn't gotten that far in the United States. I don't know if you know that. It's true. So these folks, they just don't know. So we have to educate these people. They've just gotten the internet up there. So now Adam the Odd, featured on the Insane Asylum each week with Adam's Oddities. He reached out. He goes, "What is this thing called internet? What is that?" I go, "Well, that's just another way to get your information. It's like the radio, except it's through." I don't know how to describe it to you. Different wires. How does that sound? What do you do? I go, well, I'll walk you through this. Well, he's up to speed now. And he is, what he does now for a living is for the people in the Houghton Lake part of Michigan is he's like a traveling sideshow. He pulls into town and then he busts out a laptop and he shows the locals at the McDonald's and the KFC and the Burger King how the internet works, and they pay him, and not in cash. They usually give him like a chicken or maybe like a broom or something like that, and then that's how goods are exchanged there up north. So Adam revealing the internet to the local mouth breathers has led to a cottage industry for him. So congratulations to him. Totally kidding. It's very, very insulting. My point is you should be able to find it wherever you download podcasts. All right. I'm taking the long way on every story today. Okay. On everything I do today on this show, I'm taking the long way around. All right. because this is the day where Eric earns his money. Because we have gotten to a point in the news and in the world where the only thing anyone is talking about is, well, So I'm just, there's no, I don't, outside of yesterday with the stupid 6'6" swimmer wearing his USA swimming jacket, head and shoulders amongst all the other idiots inside of the Capitol, that story. With no mask on. There's Cleet, old Cleet, Kelly, holy shit. And outside of the story of the Chuck Norris lookalike walking around, those are just ridiculous stories. Yeah, I'll touch on those, but today there's nothing like that. Today it's all just boring, legal mumbo jumbo, political COVID, and I don't have the energy. Fuck it. I don't have the energy. So this is where I dig deep and say, well, I've got a whole host of other things to share with you. So that's what I'm going to do. So welcome. You can also get the show, facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page, a live element each and every day, Monday through Friday at about this time. It did get started later today. Yesterday, I nailed it at 8 a.m. sharp, but today a little late. Okay, had to work a little. I didn't have to work in here. It was my colon that was working overtime. I was like, oh, got to go. But, all right, that Facebook is brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. Yesterday on the Facebook live stream, it was just pathetic. I encourage you as you're watching it to share this Facebook live stream. And, apparently you only did that up to a point, and that point was up to yesterday because, the number is supposed to increase. You see, if I say, hey, can you share the show? I would love it if you really help me, and then you do it. Well, I mean that like continuously. So if you do it one day, if you could do it the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day, and then keep doing it, and then we build on that. The number's supposed to keep going up. Yesterday, it was like pathetic and embarrassing. So please share it. It really helps because the people that are in your friend circle, they see it, and then they might like the show, okay? And then we might get them to share it. That's how it works. So you can really, really help the growth of the show by sharing it, okay? That's just my little soapbox, little rant. And on any of my other media forms, you can do the same damn thing, like on Periscope, Twitter Periscope video, brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Retweet yesterday, a grand total of zero retweets. I have hundreds of views on it, and not a one of you, that's that little square with the arrows. Just hit it. Just all it's like while it's playing, you just hit the damn thing. And if you forget, well, when it ends, you can hit it then too. It's really helpful. Seriously. And then on YouTube, thank you so much to F45 in Byron Center, Michigan for sponsoring the YouTube Eric Zane Show on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, hit the thumbs up. These are all important things each and every day. My gosh. Love ya. All right, while I'm at it, Instagram is brought to you by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. On Wednesday nights at 7 p.m., we play Instagram instant trivia there. Adam the Odd in Houghton Lake, who is now, like I said, just a tech wizard. He pulled off the victory. He won the trivia contest. He wins the crisp new $10 bill from MB Distributing. If you ever want to talk to me on the show via email, nobody emails these days. It's a lost art form. For a while, the lost art form was writing a handwritten letter. Nowadays, the lost art form is email. People don't email anymore. They just want to, more of an instant message, I guess. But it's there. Shoreliners, striping, inbox, email Eric at ericzaneshow.com for any feedback, whatever you want to say to me on the email. Send it along. I love getting email because I then like to feature the Forever Lawn West Michigan email of the day. Okay? Send in your emails. You, too, can be the Forever Lawn West Michigan email of the day. That is it. On today's show, we have a lot of ground to cover. First of all, let me just say this. It was 32 years ago today. 32 years ago today that 18-year-old Eric Zane walked up to a sweet little young redhead, 21-year-old redhead, and said, wait, how old was she? 18. I think she was, did she just turn 21? Or was it 22? 21 or 22 years old. I remember she was buying beer for me. Yeah, she was 21. 18-year-old Eric Zane, 21-year-old Diana Ward started dating on this date back in 1989. It was 32 years ago today. Eric and Diana, they started to play. They've been going in and out of style, but they're guaranteed to raise a smile and a penis. So let me introduce to you the one and only Billy Shears. All right. Wow. 32 years ago. In fact, let me just go over the storied history here. It was weeks earlier, back in actually 1988. It was before the Christmas break started. All right. There was this whore in the dorms, and her name was Julie. And Julie loved dick, and Eric had never had sex. So Julie was an aggressive girl, and I hadn't really encountered anything like that. A girl like really aggressive and just in the mood. And so it was, as we were leading up to Christmas break, she kind of seduced me. I'll never forget it. I was over at my buddy Tony's house, and not his house, his dorm, 18 years old. And I'm sitting there watching a movie, never had sex. And this girl is sitting next to me, and she's enjoying the movie too. And she starts to like touch my hand. And I'm like, oh my God, holy shit, this is incredible. I'd never had this happen. I'd never had a girl try to seduce me. So that was it. And I thought, oh my God, well, clearly I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this woman. She is just the greatest thing ever. I love her so much. We're going to go have sex, and that's going to be the end of it. And then we're going to get married. And then I was all in. I was always all in with any girl that ever wanted anything to do with me. They were always the one. Okay. That's how I'm just wired that way. At least I was. So that was it, man. So I ended up taking Julie to Pound Town. And then so everybody's talking about it, and they're talking about it in not so great of a way, because my buddy Tony, whose house or dorm that I was seeing the movie, and he goes, man, I'll never forget it. He actually said, he goes, dude, I had her too. I go, you did? He goes, yeah, man, everybody has. Come on. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, oh, dude, she just sleeps with everybody in the dorms. You just got, I mean, seriously, man, you can't commit to this. You gotta. All right, big deal. You had sex with her, but I mean, you know, you're way wound up in this, man. And I'm like, no, bullshit, man. She's the one. She's great. Stand by. So I'm like, fuck you, Tony. You're not going to talk to me that way about her. Oh, my God, it's terrible. And I'm still very, very close with Tony. And he's going to end up hearing this story. And he's going to laugh hysterically. So, but I'm like, no way, man. So, you know, me and this girl, we hit it off. And then, so the Christmas break comes. I've actually told this story once or twice before. And you have no way of communicating other than picking up a phone and calling or driving to the house. She lived in Flint, okay? And I lived 100 miles south. Okay, here's my phone number. We can maybe meet sometime during Christmas break, whatever. You're my boyfriend. I love you forever. You're the greatest. I go, oh, yeah, great. I love you too. Holy shit. And then that was that. Then, so I get home. First thing I do, Mom, I got this. I met the one. She's like, okay, great. All right, great. She knows better. She's probably sitting there smoking a Merit cigarette, you know, contemplating whatever. She's going to start dating again. She's sitting there listening to Neil Diamond, drinking a glass of frickin' wine and smoking a Merit. And I'm sitting there telling her about this woman I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. She's like, yeah, whatever. Well, I called Julie, and it says line disconnected. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So I have no way of getting a hold of her. I'm like, what has happened here? So to this day, I'm still not 100% sure if I wrote it down wrong or she gave me the wrong number because she didn't want anything to do with me, and this was her way of ending it. I still don't know, but the vacation ends. We go back to Central, okay? And here I am in Merrill Hall, and Julie's in Sweeney, and that's the girls' dorm across the way. And as you go from Merrill Hall to Sweeney, you pass the front desk of Merrill Hall, where there's a one of the people that lives in the dorm who works there, and then you go, you cross where you the dining commons, and then you're into Sweeney. And so I go up to see Julie, and as I pass the desk, there's Diana. Everybody called her Red. I did too at the time. I don't refer to her as Red now. A lot of people call her Reddy in my inner circle. But I go up to Julie's room, and then I go, "Hey, what happened?" And she acted really standoffish, and she's like, I don't believe you, and get out. We're broken up. I go, well, that's it. Oh my God. So I'm like, oh my God, it's terrible. I'm all broken up like an asshole. And then she then proceeded to finish up her college career by getting like double stuffed by every dude in the dorm. and I mean, seriously. And you know what's crazy? I don't know if you ever did this, but this is going to sound incredibly mean, but I went out of my way not that long ago to look her up, and she's still alive, but she doesn't look it. She still lives in the Flint area, and I think that whole Flint water thing is in the news because the governor of Michigan's getting charged for all of that. That's in the news right now. I think she consumed her lion's share of the Flint water because I took one look at her. Did you ever see the film RoboCop? When the guy falls into the toxic waste, and then he comes out, he's like, and his face is all melted, and then the guy hits him with the car, and the dude explodes. That's what she looks like now. And I'm like, what the fuck happened to you? And it's really screwed up what time does to a face. Shit, man. Oh boy, bullet dodged. Son of a bitch. Woo. So anyway, that's terribly mean, but it's true. I mean, if I showed you all right now, if I like went to looked her up and then held it like an iPad up to the camera right now, you'd all turn to stone. Whew. So anyway, back to where I was. I'm on the third floor. I'm all broken up. By the time I get down to like the first floor, I've dried my eyes. So then I compose myself, and I happen to wander over to where Diana is, and she is at the at that desk. Now back up a little bit. I told you about how I got involved with Julie. Similarly, before the end of the semester, Julie went home, and I watched a movie in another room, and Diana was in there. Okay, now at this point. Everybody knows that Julie and I are together. And so Diana is just in there as another person watching the movie. And we laughed a lot, but I have really no interest at all, I didn't think. But I did notice that we tended to get along quite well. And I thought, oh, wow, we sure get along well, but it doesn't matter because I've got the greatest woman in the world, despite the fact that in 32 years she's going to look like the guy from who got dunked in toxic waste from RoboCop. So I'm happy as can be, but that Diana, she sure is nice and she sure is attractive. Oh my God. But I'm not interested at all. In fact, I walked Diana home, like through the dorms to where as far as And I said, okay, see you later. Bye-bye. Because at a certain point, you couldn't even get into Sweeney with it unless you had an escort. And she wasn't going to, I wasn't going up to her room or anything. So that was it. I didn't think anything of it. That was the last interaction I had with Diana. All that other shit happened with the disconnected phone. The dumb bitch breaks up with me. She then proceeds to get double stuffed many, many times. I wander down and there's Diana after this chick's just broken up with me. So I go, hey, Diana, how are you? Oh, not bad. How was your Christmas vacation? Oh, it was okay, except something bad just happened. What happened? Well, Julie just broke up with me as a damnedest thing. I had this, so I give her all the gory details. She goes, oh my God, that sounds ridiculous. Holy shit, man. Oh man. And she's like sitting at this desk and she's got her gigantic sweater on. It says like Coca-Cola, and she's got her knit stirrup pants. Okay. All the shit we wore back in the late 80s and the 90s, listening to MC Hammer and shit like that. Hey, did you get the new MC Hammer? Oh yeah, I can't touch this. Holy shit, it's awesome. That might have been before MC Hammer. I don't know. But so she's like, we're talking, and I go, so did you have a good vacation? Yeah. And at some point, I said something about her boy because I knew she was dating this dude who was in the Marines, and so I brought up the boyfriend. And she goes, what boyfriend? Now, at the start of the vacation, she had a boyfriend. And I went, oh, okay. And so at this point, I know she's single. Swear to God, I turned around. I went back up to another room full of chicks, and one of which I had dated earlier in the year. Another redhead, coincidentally. Now, I don't know what the deal is with the redheads, but I think natural redheads are attracted to your old pal Eric. So, and her name was Martha. I hesitated there because I thought maybe I shouldn't say her name, but she was extremely sweet, and it didn't work out. And she ended up marrying another dude from the dorms, I think. Incredibly happy today, as far as I know. But anyway, so I'm sitting there with Martha and this other chick named Julie, and I go, hey, so yeah, so-and-so broke up with me. Julie broke up with me, but so I'm talking to another Julie and Martha, and I go, yeah, I think that Diana, I think I'm going to ask her out now. This is like hours after, and they're like, what are you doing? I mean, seriously, you just rebounded. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. And besides, she's a lot older than you because she's a senior and I was a freshman. She's a lot older than you. And she's got a boyfriend. I go, no, she does not. She does not have a boyfriend. Bullshit. So that was it. I think, and then Diana, how it all started was shortly thereafter. It would be, let's see. I actually want to see the timeline of how this went. As I speak, I'm going back on the calendar app, 1996, but that's a lot of years. It's taken me forever to get there. Okay, so all this shit that I'm telling you happened on January 7th. Okay, Saturday, January 7th. Or the 8th of 1989. During the week, either on the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, or 13th, at some point, I'm walking into the dining commons, and Diana walks up to me, and she says, Eric, and I go, yeah. She says, say yes. And I go, she's up to something here, and I go, yes? She goes, okay. Remember that. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This was her way of trying to get me to agree to go to, they had like a formal dance within the dorms. So corny. Called like the sweetheart dance for like Valentine's Day or some shit like that. And she wanted to go with me. So she asked me to go to the fucking dance. Now, I had already thought that we were going to hit it off, but this solidified it. So from that point forward, I started to like turn on the heat a little bit. And man, we took off. It was like a fucking firecracker. And so that meant that week was incredible. And then on the 14th, January 14th, 1989, I asked her to be my girlfriend. Like, and I mean, that's not a lot of time. You're supposed to wait a little longer. But we got right after it. So that was it. That the fucking rest is history. Oh my God. I can't tell you how happy I am. And then to sit here and go through this whole fucking story is just taking me back. Cannot believe it. 32 years ago today. And then we didn't, okay, that sweetheart dance, that was February 11th. And that was like the first time we boned. So we're coming up on our boniversary. February 11th, 1989 was boniversary. So we'll celebrate that then. We should bring her in here for that. I'm sure she'd be real happy. Oh, my God. No winner on the Powerball. Holy shit. So you got dueling freaking stories on what is approaching billions of dollars. You got the other one, Mega Millions. That drawing is tomorrow. I think that is $750 million. Yesterday's Powerball jackpot was worth $550 million. And they're guessing it will be at least $640 million headed into the next drawing on Saturday. Holy shit. Whenever it's like someone wins and then it goes back to whatever, how many million it is on like 1 weekend, that's enough. I mean, and the fact that we live in a country where at any given point, someone can win this giant amount of money. Can you imagine trying to explain this to someone who lives in like a third world country where, they have no concept of what the hell this is all about? To tell them that if they buy a piece of paper and a series of numbers is written on it that they've picked and it matches, that they would win an incredible amount of money. Holy crap. Yeah, so that's a staggering amount of cash. We have a Friday drawing for the wait a minute, hold on a second here. Yes, Friday is Wednesday's Powerball. Saturday is the Powerball. Mega Millions is tomorrow. My God, buy a damn ticket. Holy shit. Yeah, I can't even. I mean, even if you win the small amount, that's incredible. You're a millionaire. You're set for life. You got tons of money. You can buy whatever the fuck you want. If you have that much money, let's just say this gets to $1 billion and you win $1 billion. All right, half of it, maybe a little bit more, goes to all sorts of taxes and shit like that. Okay, so there's that, and I guess the question is, how can we ever, as a nation, ever run out of money? It kind of pisses you off when you think about it, that with all of the millions that go to lotteries, how is anyone poor or hungry in this country? We're just throwing out $500 million. Here you go. I mean, my God. But then you have all of this money. And I talked about this on the Patreon. I think it would affect me so much mentally that I would be concerned about my well-being, both the initial shock of finding out that I have won that much money and possibly having some type of cardiac event or something like that, just keeling over, or then the subsequent mental instability that would take place, knowing that I have that much money, constantly having to be, I mean, because if you win that much money and then the world finds out about it, and and you're not set up for any type of security. You live in whatever home that you live in that no doubt isn't a gated community, doesn't have that high tech of a security system. I'd be scared to death of even to go to sleep that somebody's going to march in and fucking shoot me in the head. I think I would live in a hotel or something like that and wall myself in with like security guards. You see, I would already lose my mind. I can't even begin to imagine what it would be like to have something like that. It's one of those things where it sounds like a real hassle, and I'd have to navigate how to live at this point. It's like in this Tiger Woods documentary that I'm going to talk about here. The way this guy had to live, or has had to live, especially during Tiger Mania. I mean, no fun. The dude, he would, in order to get away from the world, he'd have to go to like another planet. And what I mean by that is Tiger Woods, when he wanted to get away, he would put all this scuba gear on and go and sit at the bottom of the ocean. I am not even making it up. That's why he bought the yacht. And, well, I'm sure there's a lot of reasons why he bought the yacht, but he buys this massive yacht and it's got all of this high-tech gear. And he gets in like the fucking Jacques Cousteau thing, and he goes and sits on the bottom of the ocean and talks to fish. True story. Because everybody wanted a piece of him. He goes, yeah, I'm just going to go hang out at the bottom of the ocean, get a couple things done, hang out at the coral reef and talk to fucking Dory and what's the other fish's name? Finding Noah? Finding Dory. Dory is played by the talk show host. What's her name? I'm really screwing this up. Ellen DeGeneres. And then the other fish, Moby. Finding Moby? Finding Nemo. Nemo, it's Nemo. Got it. Finding Nemo. That's what he's doing. Blind Tony says, Nemo, numbnuts. I know it. Laura helps me out with it. Ellen. Sorry, guys. Yeah, man. What was I talking about? I really had an ADHD moment there. What the fuck was going on? Where was I? Powerball. So, all right. Yeah, no winner. Good luck to you. We got a ton of stuff to get into today. A sweet racing pigeon completes an incredible journey. I mean, this is just nuts. I'm not sure, though, that his reward for his effort is appropriate, though. If you know the ending to these stories and you're on the live stream, please don't in the comments give it away. As always, I like to say that from time to time. My little run walk extravaganza that I've been doing every day with the Queen of the Forest to get back in shape leads to a revelation about me. I'll tell you that story. We have an update on NFK. For those of you not in the know, that is my brother-in-law, No Filter Kevin. No Filter Kevin and I headed off to a doctor's appointment for a physical. Okay. I'll be somewhat respectful of the privacy here. I don't want it to be too strange, but you all are interested. So because in the health of the guy, lives in my house, and I've told you many, many stories about No Filter Kevin. He is never short of hilarious no filter moments. So the parts that aren't so sensitive, I'll tell you about. Of course, any type of interaction with No Filter Kevin, outside of just a general conversation, leads to something ridiculous and hilarious. You know that by now. If you've listened to the show for any amount of time, my brother-in-law has no filter, and it's quite a thing. It's a lot to get used to. Stand by. I got a prank to tell you about, pulled by one of the Zaniacs. Oh, my God. Tomorrow, the Great Sock giveaway. This is another reminder for that. And just so if you don't know what we're doing, excuse me, I don't know what my problem is. Again, it's my voice. I need a drink of water. Stand by. Damn it. Oh, boy. What is going on? If you want to hang out tomorrow outside masked up, socially distant, and helping the underprivileged folks in and around my neck of the woods. What you need to do is be at Rosa Parks Circle, 4 p.m., Friday, the 15th of January. That's where you will be joining the Eric Zane Show podcast, Bombas Sock Brigade. Bombas is a brand. They make awesome socks. My pal Mike Hamp got into their good graces some time ago, and Bombas, their motto has always been, if we ever sell a pair of socks, we're going to give one away. So it isn't, it's like, we sold one pair, mail one out to someone. They do it by when people like Mike ask, the company vets the person asking and then says, okay, send this person socks. So now Mike gets these boxes and boxes of brand new, very, very high-end socks. Oh, now he's got to give them away. And so he reached out to me about this, and that's where we started coming up with this plan. So in and around where I live, the homeless community is pretty big. And, we're not going to change the world entirely, but we are going to help these people out in our own little way. So we gather and then bring a backpack, and then we stuff it full of socks. Everybody's got a backpack. And then we walk around together, and we encounter people at the various shelters and let them know that we care about them, and we give them a pair of socks, maybe 2, maybe 3, until there are no more socks. I imagine we'll do it till about sundown. I don't want to be walking around late at night or when it's dark or anything like that. So this will probably take about an hour, hour and a half of us just hanging out. And then, so if we have too many people, well, we won't, but we'll just split up the groups, go in different directions. But that's it. We're just taking a walk with a backpack full of socks and giving those away. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you want more information and you'd like to sign up so that I can get a head count, I appreciate that. It's pinned to the top of Facebook and Twitter. And also I'll link it up in the show notes of this podcast. And if you forget to sign up, no big deal. Just join us. That's it. Nothing too involved. No drama. No big deal. And then that's it. We'll call it a day after that and do it again in a few weeks. Okay, that's the intro of the Eric Zane Show podcast. All right. It is when I get done with this, we got to get into the Tiger Woods documentary. My God, this thing, holy crap, on HBO. I also want to say that on Patreon, Jackie joined me yesterday. This was the follow-up, if you will, from the great booby incident that happened. If you don't know, I will just detail this really quickly. While FaceTiming her, she started it by saying, "Dad, I'm in the bathtub," and the phone was pointed towards the ceiling. And then this dum-dum got out of the tub, and then she went right into the viewfinder of the iPhone, and I see my 23-year-old daughter naked as a jaybird in her birthday suit from the waist up, and I'm like, what just happened? Oh, my God. That is something that no father should ever see. It's horrible. Tried to get a hold of her on the free podcast. It did not work. And so I did talk to her on the Patreon yesterday. If you want to hear that, patreon.com/Eric Zane. Now, I'd like to say that if you want in on it, $5 or $10 a month, try it out. If you don't like it, and you will, but if you don't, then you cancel it at any time. You can you can listen to the interview, cancel it right then, and then you're still good for the rest of the month. And then it just won't charge you at the end of the month. But if you like it, sign up for the year. You'll pay either $60 for all the audio for a year, or $120 for the audio, all of the video, and the live streams. Sign up for the year for either the tier 1 or tier 2, and you save 10%. So you'll save $6 on the tier. What is tier 1? I don't even know what's tier 1 and tier 2. Tier 1 is the $5 a month. Tier 2 is the $10 a month. And you'll save $12 on Tier 2. Okay, that's how you do it. Tag Accounting, get your taxes done from Tag. And please mention my name. Let the little tax gnome know that you heard it here. That way he knows his marketing dollars is paying off for him, or are paying off for him. 616-301-9516. Reach out to Troy Ginzer. We're in that spot now where your documents are rolling in from your employers and your charitable donations. This is how much you gave to the church, all that stuff. You accumulate all that stuff, and then you send it off to Troy via his online portal, and then he does your taxes for you. Okay, and then the money shows up a couple days later in your in your bank account from your return, your refund, and then that's it. 616-301-9516 for Tag Accounting, servicing clients anywhere in the United States. Please do this. It really helps. And mention me, 616-301-9516. 2 CPL training classes coming up with Prince Arming Saturday, January 30th, and Sunday, January 31st. Reach out, princearming.com, or just get to his Facebook page at ericzaneshow.com. Click on his logo, and then you can sign up online at any one of those spots, okay? $125 for the class, 616-204-1705. Please mention that you're a listener of the show. Thank you to Steve Prince. All right, hang on, drink of water. Drink it if you got it. Okay. So I finished the back half of the of episode 1 of the Tiger Woods documentary. This is all taken off of this is a documentary that has been adapted from a book, which was an unauthorized biography called Tiger. That came out in 2018. I had forgotten all about that. So HBO has this thing, and my God, I talked a little bit yesterday about the controlling nature of the dad, and the mom. I mean, they said it was like they had created a golf robot. His first girlfriend, I think her name was Dina. She talked about that exact thing, and but the one thing that stands out from anything Tiger Woods related, I think what overshadows his golf domination, in my opinion, is his side piece domination. The amount of side pieces he had while married to Elin Nordgren. And when all of that news started to unfold, I swear it was, I'll never forget, it was like every day there was a new porn star or stripper or fucking Perkins waitress. Do you remember that? Do you remember the Perkins waitress? Tiger Woods had sex with so many women outside of his marriage that he actually went into a Perkins to get like a stack of pancakes and some eggs. And the Perkins waitress, he struck it up with her and they hit it off. And then he like slammed her behind a dumpster of the Perkins or something like that. I'm probably getting part of that screwed up. But yeah, and then the Perkins waitress, she came out and said, "Yeah, I was one of Tiger's side pieces." And like every other chick who was revealed was like a super hot stripper, like hottest chick in the world. And then the Perkins waitress, she like presents images to the world like, "This is me. I was also one of Tiger's chicks. Holy shit!" It's like, well, what are you doing? Why are you announcing this? Are you hoping to gain something out of this? I mean, what's going on here? And then the images that she released, they were like, you ever go to like Walmart or Sears and get like a family picture with one of those shooting star backgrounds? That's That's how I picture her picture. And she was like leaned over, reclined, wearing this really dorky dress with like a dorky haircut, and just looked like a complete idiot. And then everybody was like, "Oh shit!" He even slammed the Perkins waitress. He's so unbelievably proficient at side pieces. He's putting it to the Perkins waitress. My God! So you got like this ultra hot chick who managed the nightclub, Rachel Ucatel. She was the first one. So they're going to get into all of this coming up in episode 2, which is Sunday. And to me, when you think about Tiger Woods, a guy who's won is like, I think he's tied with Sam Snead for number of golf tournaments won. Think that number is like 81 or 82. Like he and Sam Snead are tied for first, and Woods probably will break that. In golf majors, the all-time winner leader is Jack Nicklaus. He has 18. And for a time, it was like Woods is going to destroy that. And then after the Elin Nordgren thing, I mean, he has won majors. He won the Masters in 2019, but his proficiency has declined over the years as he's gotten older and his back got screwed up. So, but he's still a great golfer. But he's got like 15 majors. So, but I think that the number of side pieces and all of the drama, to me, I think that's bigger than the legendary golf ability. I really do, because that story was so ridiculous. Every day we'd wake up with a new gaggle of women who were like, "Oh yeah, Tiger, whenever he comes to Houston, man, he calls me. Oh, whenever he comes to Portland, he calls me." It was incredible, the number of women. And I haven't really taken the time to look how many, but if I remember, it was dozens. Like 20s or 30s, all these women coming out, and Tiger's like, "Oh shit." And here's what stands out to me, because they're getting into how he courted Elin Nordgren, who was a nanny for another golfer, Jesper Parnevik, I think is his name. And he introduced Nordgren to Woods, and Woods is like, "Oh my God, man, she's so hot." And she wasn't interested. She didn't give a fuck about him. And then finally, she's like, "All right, I'll go out with you." She was reluctant to do that. She might, in all of the images I see of her, I'm still struck by how beautiful she was/is. She might be one of the prettiest people outside of Diana on God's green earth. I mean, just an absolute knockout. And what the fuck, man? How could you possibly fuck that up? I mean, it's really, really crazy to me that Woods would. I mean, not just one chick, the fucking Perkins waitress. How pissed would you be? Because if you're Nordgren, she finds out about it, and then I think she bashed him in the face with a golf club, and then he like ran to the car, and she's chasing him with the golf club, and then he's like, "Oh fuck, she's going crazy," and then she starts bashing the car with the golf club. Woods takes off, and then he wrecks the car. If you remember that. And then, so that's when the downward spiral started. And then as days pass, the phone message comes out, and then the women, and then it's days later that you get Perkins waitress. So if you're Nordgren, every day is another, it's like Groundhog Day, all these terrible things. And how, can you imagine being a woman and your husband does this, and then, but every day, more and more whores. Okay. So, I can't. And then she agreed to try to fix the marriage despite every day new women, and then culminating with the Perkins waitress. So if you're Nordgren, you're like, "Oh my God, man, all these terrible things." And then, but she might be like, I can actually see, Tiger, how the primitive side of you or any man might be enticed to be a whore yourself because of all these attractive women. But this Perkins waitress is a fucking beast. How can you possibly? I mean, that is it. Can you imagine if Nordgren is like, all right, the Perkins waitress is it. That is, if you hadn't gone to the Perkins waitress, if you hadn't eaten the stack of pancakes, eaten the bacon, eaten the sausage, drank the orange juice, and then slammed the Perkins waitress by the dumpster, I think I might have been able to look past your indiscretions and work with you, and we could get to the bottom of it. But the Perkins waitress, fuck you, I'm out. Holy shit. She got $100 million in the divorce settlement. She is worth $200 million right now. Her money's been working for her. I think she's actually a very accomplished model as well. She still lives in Florida. She's got so much money that she bought like a $15 million mansion. It was an old home, and it was like a fixer-upper. And then she, after walking through it, after buying it for $15 million, this is after the divorce, she then said, I don't want to do I don't want to have all the contractors come in and retrofit it. I'm just going to start over, but I like the property. So just bulldoze the whole fucking thing. She ripped the whole fucking house down and built a new one. Incredible. So this episode of the documentary ends with Woods' dad has died. They've now established Woods' marriage. He wins some golf tournament. I think it was some major. And Woods' dad has passed, and it was relatively fresh. Despite that, he's able to be the robot that he is, kick everybody's ass, win this major, and then he hugs his caddy, Steve Williams, who rats him out through all this fucking documentary. This documentary is full of rats, by the way. Every single one of these people are fucking scum. Okay. Ratting Woods out. These are the worst of the rats. This whole documentary is full of rats. Williams, who was very close to him, is hugging Woods as Woods is sobbing uncontrollably at the loss of his father because his dad made him into a robot and he loves him for that. Woods then walks over to Nordgren and hugs her. And while he's hugging her, you hear this type of chaotic sounding music. It's not the type of music that you would hear when a touching moment is happening. And the way they made this is as he's hugging her, the music intensifies, and then it cuts to a chair where another rat is going to walk into the shot and dish on Woods. And it's Rachel Uchitel. And she looks weird, like a lot of plastic surgery. I mean, she's in her mid-40s now. She's a lot less hot now. She looks like she's got one of those weirdo plastic faces, and she looks pissed. And she walks into the shot, sits down, and this is how it sounds. It's very, very quick. You get a sense of the music, and then she speaks.
Okay, so what do you want me to talk about?
Okay. So that sets up the next episode. Okay, so what do you want me to talk about? And she's got a look on her face like she's annoyed. Okay. She's no doubt being paid very handsomely to do this documentary, as she was for the book, I'm sure. So that's where it leaves you. And now they're going to detail all of the transgressions of Woods. And boy, there are many. My God. There's more I want to get to, more sound I want to play you. But this, being that this documentary is out, his agent is the world famous agent Mark Steinberg, who has been with him since the late 90s. And they're none too happy. They're denouncing the whole thing, saying it's salacious. Agreed, it is. And an incomplete portrait. I don't know if anybody cares, honestly. All we know, great golfer, created by, in my opinion, sicko parents, ruined this guy, and made him what he is. But Steinberg says it's just like the book it is based off. It's just another unauthorized and salacious outsider attempt to paint an incomplete portrait of one of the greatest athletes of all time. The book is that they're referring to as Tiger, the 2018 bio, written by Armen Katayan, Armenian, and Jeff Benedict. Katayan is also listed as an executive producer for the HBO two-part series. Both the documentary and book spend extensive time examining Wood's relationship with his father, Earl, and what impact that may have had on his development as a man. Wood's team took issue with the book's content upon its release as well. 3-hour documentary features multiple people who were close to Woods at one time, but have since fallen out of his circle. I'd guess so, man. I can't imagine any of these rats like actually encountering Woods face to face. Steve Williams is that New Zealander, that caddy that I told you about, who's completely ratted him out. The former girlfriend, Dina Parr, his first girlfriend, she speaks quite a bit. We'll hear from her in a second. And then Rachel Uchitel will be featured in the second episode. Tiger Woods, when he was a kid, he would go to this one particular golf course, and there was a pro that worked at the golf course named Joe Groman, and he became close with Tiger's dad. All right, this is one of the rats, and for most of the episode, he seems like a thoughtful, nice dude, and he doesn't really say anything too inflammatory. No big deal. But then when they're starting in this episode to paint the picture of why Woods is the way he is, they've established that Earl Woods and Tiger's mom have, really helicopter parents, had him under their thumb and made him to be this golf robot. But they're now painting the picture as to why Tiger is the he-whore that he is, okay? And how the apple didn't fall far from the tree. And they go back to how when Woods was like a kid, he'd be there, putting on the course. And then Earl Woods was teaching golf lessons with the help of this pro at the course that they would practice on. And then something would happen when you'd have like a young lady there who would be learning golf. Earl Woods would be like teaching her how to putt. And then according to this guy, Joe Groman, listen to what he describes that he, the pro, so he's admitting it, and Earl Woods would do. And the thing that is telling here and really striking is the fake anguish that this piece of shit rat puts on display for this. Okay. So he's already spoken all this shit in the 2018 book. Now he's got a camera in his face and he's acting like it's all new info. And he's got this pained look on his face and he's acting like he has to compose himself to rat out Tiger Woods. And it's fucking disgusting. Listen to this shit.
Gosh. I love this guy. Earl was a great, great dad.
But I'm gonna talk tons of shit about him and make Tiger feel bad.
I don't know how to smooth this one over. I assure you that we were not the best role models when it came to honoring your marriage. I assure you. This is a tough one. Yeah. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. I gotta collect my thoughts.
This guy, he's a terrible actor. He's acting like this bothers him, that he has to dish on how much of a he-whore Tiger's dad was and that he was while Tiger was a kid putting on the greens. And he's making the leap that Tiger would see all this, and that's why Tiger's became the dude he became.
Shit. He's not going to like this shit at all.
Oh, my God. He's talking about Tiger.
Earl had this little Winnebago, and we'd let him teach on the range. and he somehow would teach very attractive blonde women. I never figured out where he met these women. And
that's a miracle, because Earl Woods always looked like shit, man.
Often, after the lesson, they'd go into the Winnebago for cocktails.
Oh my God. So they actually show Earl Woods's rape van. It's what it looked like. Is like off the green, this Winnebago, if the campers rocking, don't come a knocking type of deal. And he's like, oh yeah, all right, we just finished the golf lesson. Let's go back to the Winnebago for drinks. Where did he? First of all, what chick goes, okay, with Earl Woods? What?
And, Tiger was at the course. And I was just every bit as bad. I mean, for a long time, me and Earl were the two biggest male figures in his life, the two closest to him. And, and here I am chasing skirts and bringing him to the course, and he's seeing this. Yeah. And I was married too at the time, and he's seeing this. Yeah. To have that kind of access to this child's development and expose him to that, it's just, yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, champ.
Sorry, champ. He's talking to Tiger. He looks right at the camera and says, sorry, champ. Sorry, I just ratted you out. I just told this story about your fucking dad. Oh, my God. Very rough. So they're sitting there painting the picture that this all is, Tiger became, they're setting you up for the next episode. Then they go to Tiger's girlfriend. The very next scene is Tiger's very first girlfriend. Her name is Dina something or other. Dina Parr? Is that it? I think it is Dina Parr. And, a lot of what she says in it leading up to this moment, I think she's less salacious, but still, I mean, she's still giving a lot of very sensitive information about Woods and how he was brought up and his family and things like that. And I don't know. It's a little weird. She's telling the story now about as Tiger's a little bit older, he's at a tournament with his dad, and then something happens. Woods calls her. She dishes here.
I mean, any child having to witness that and know what's happening, it's not right. It's just not right. And, that made a huge impact on his life. When Tiger and I were still together, he would travel in the summer for tournaments with his dad. And he called me one time, and I will never forget. He was sobbing on the phone uncontrollably. I couldn't even understand what he was saying. He was so upset. He, finally caught his breath and, said, my dad's out again. He met this girl and they're going out. The sound of Tiger's voice was so upsetting. I wanted to crawl through the phone and just take care of him. I've never heard somebody in my life so upset. And his dad, I don't think, really cared that he knew it. I think that also bothered him. Like, why would you not try to hide this from me? Why would you just, let me see this? Tiger's mom was a loyal, good mother, and he absolutely loved her. So there was an anger there with his dad. But he could never show it. He could never express it. He had to keep that in. And it changed the relationship with him and his dad. Did he still idolize him and love him? Absolutely. But it changed. It changed.
Wow. They detailed and finished up also that the two, Woods and his dad, kind of had a falling out as Tiger started to become going from as he aged, as he progressed through his professional career, and the distance between him and his dad, and then his dad ended up passing away. But oh my God, it is weird watching it, reliving the whole thing and thinking that these people, These were people that were once really, really close to him. I'm curious what they were paid for it. The big fireworks starts Sunday when all the stories about the women. My God, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like a train wreck. You just can't take your eyes off it. I can say that his fall from grace was so out of the blue. I mean, because I don't know. All I knew was he was the greatest golfer ever. And I didn't know of anything strange about the guy. I didn't hear any rumblings or anything like that. And it's like Tiger Woods is a fucking. I mean, people cheat on people all the time, but it was the extent. It was the long form cheating with this network of women. My God, it was incredible, culminating with the Perkins waitress. Shit, I wonder if they're going to get into that. If you're Perkins waitress, it's been so many years. I wonder what the Perkins waitress is doing now. And if you type that into Google, does it know what I'm thinking? What is the Perkins waitress doing now? Fourth one down. Tiger Woods, the $8 an hour diner waitress. Is that an old article? Yeah, it's old. 2009. What is the Tiger Woods Perkins waitress doing now? Mindy Lawton. All right. Let's see. She went to jail. She served a 1-year sentence for drunk driving. So this is an old article too. All right. So at the top of the list, Rachel Ucatel. I remember that one. I remember Jamie Grubbs. These are really hot women. Kalika Moquin. Jamie Youngers, Corey Rist, Perkins, Holly Sampson, porn star, Jocelyn James, porn star, Laura Dana Jolie. Boy, I don't want to sit here and just go. There was 13. God, in my mind, there was like 100. I think there was more that claimed it, but were never like confirmed. It was an incredible time. My God. All right. Yesterday, we were back at it. Diana and I went over to the beautiful dog park. Did not see Zaniac Eric walking his beagle. Where have you been? What is going on? Do you not take that dog for a walk anymore? What is happening? I will say this. I am so damn sore right now. I feel like I was dropped out of an airplane. And that is the true testament to what happens when you stop exercising. Now, I've been running. That's not a problem. But I'm talking about like lifting weights. Oh my God. I was talking about this in the Patreon yesterday. It is just insane. The actual discomfort that I'm in. It is, and I barely did anything. To try on my first workout back, but oh my God. But we went at it yesterday in this walk run program that we're doing. And it's very simple. We're adding 10 seconds of run and decreasing 10 seconds of walk every day until we're running nonstop. That's a gradual progression. Yesterday was 240 jog, 120 walk. It started at 30 seconds jog, 330 walk. It's completely flipped. It's awesome. So today, 250 jog. I think. Am I getting that right? I got to do the math. Doesn't matter. But so it's a dog park. This is like my favorite place to be. There's dogs everywhere. I love dogs so much. This lady pulls up and she's got on her lap a freaking Frenchie which, I've got Bruce over here. I love Frenchies, and this little bugger, he's awesome, and he gets out, and they're all different, different. I mean, Bruce is a tall, ripped Frenchie. He's a rarity. This guy is not. He's got short, little, stubby legs, and he's fat as shit, and he, as usual, thinks he's tough as nails. He's not. Just like Bruce, he's pulling his owner towards me, and all he wants is to say hi. So now I know this is coming, but apparently there's something I do, which I was just, it hit me as a revelation yesterday. This is something that happens, and I was not aware of. That is part of me, because as I see the Frenchie, I go, oh my God, there's a Frenchie. Oh my God. And the lady, she hasn't even gotten out of the car yet. And Diana says, well, just take it easy. Don't be a creeper. And at the time, it goes in one ear and out the other. And I don't have time to think about it because she has now gotten out of the car, this lady. Frenchie sees me. He immediately starts going towards me. And I go, oh, my God, look at him. And then I didn't know. Maybe that was creepy. I have no idea. But so I pet the damn dog. He's all good. And fine. Well, have a good walk with your dog. Okay, see you later. Bye-bye. Start walking. I go, so wait a minute. What do you mean by don't be creepy or a creeper? I forget what she said. One of the doesn't matter. They're both horrible. And she goes, well, you just have a tendency to be a little too outgoing with people. I go, what the fuck are you talking about? And then she goes, yeah, it's just sometimes you're just a little heavy-handed in your approach. I go, I don't think I am. I think I'm joyful. I'm friendly and nice to people. I don't walk up and go, yeah, I'm not like fucking Earl Woods on the 14th green enticing chicks to go into my stabbing cabin, okay? Into my Winnebago rape van. I just want to pet the fucking dog. What are you talking about? We had a good laugh on that. I had no idea. Apparently, I act like a creep. What the hell? Hey, I want to help your business. I'm looking for sponsors, as always, to be on this podcast. And let me just tell you, the growth of this show continues to be like on the uptick. With the amount of people, minutes watched on Facebook, minutes watched on YouTube, minutes watched on Twitter, amount of downloads on the audio podcast, you're looking at a massive pile of people that are hearing the messages of these businesses, seeing their signage behind me, okay? If you want to be in this company, you need to reach out to me. I can market your business. And I'm talking teeny tiny budget to more elaborate budget. Whatever you need, I will accommodate you. Eric at ericzaneshow.com, and that's all you got to say. Zane, tell me more. This is what I have for a business. This is what can you do for me? I might ask you a question or two about some of the things you do, but I mean, this doesn't cost you anything other than the time it takes you to write, hey, Eric, I'm interested. How does it work? Then I just explain it to you. That's all part of it. You don't pay for any of that. I tend to overgive, but it's set up that way. I want all of my clients to feel like they are the only sponsor on the show. And that is my goal, and I work very hard at that. So if you want more information, reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Like Joe Martinez from A&E Heating and Cooling. He's one of the first wave of sponsors. And he's just been crushing it for a long time. Thanks to you. Again, this all comes down to you supporting the sponsors, so thank you. And one of the things he wants me to talk about is a device known as the Remi Halo, REMI-HALO. Okay? It hooks up to your air conditioner and heating systems of your homes. Easily mounted, it says, into air conditioning and heating systems air ducts. Okay? And then the air passes through or over, and the Remi Halo bathes the air molecules in a particular type of light, and that light greatly reduces and eliminates, in some cases, shitty things in the air: bacteria, viruses, pollen, dust, dander, mold spores, and the still not defined VOCs. And so basically, you're breathing healthier air. You don't believe them? Look it up. You've got a long list of satisfied people who love the Remy Halo. A lot of these industries that don't want you smelling what their place would smell like without it have installed these. Veterinarians, kitchens, they install the Remy Halo. They don't want you to smell various things. So what they do is they install this, and then what is obvious if you walk into businesses that don't have this, like a vet, you're like, oh my God, what the hell is this? That's what's floating in the air. Now, it's not nearly as pronounced in your home, but if you want to breathe the cleanest air possible, you need the Remy Halo. Joe will install it for you and save you $100. All you have to do is mention this show. 616-516-8579. If you miss any of this stuff, my sponsors, I link them up in the show notes of the podcast. It's impossible to not know where my sponsors are, and they're all on ericzaneshow.com. Car dealership of choice, I just bought one from them this week, is Sarah Honda Granville. Okay? Please go there when you're in the market for a car, whether it's a brand new Honda, a certified pre-owned Honda, a used car, or a budget car. I want you to get it at Sarah Honda. The needs I had Monday: budget. Scrape my pennies together. Got my very low amount for my trade because Madison made her car look like it had been in the big one at Talladega. And I said, all right, here's the cash. Give me the car. They gave me the keys. I drove out of there with a 2008 Accord, and we're in business. Whatever your need is, I want you to consider Sarah Honda, sponsor of the Eric Zane Show podcast. You can shop online at sarahhondagranville.com or go in person into their sanitized, safe showrooms or on the lot in Granville, Michigan, along Kennewa, next to the Cracker Barrel, just north of 44th Street. Okay, that's that. Eric, get to the update on No Filter Kevin. What is going on in his world? This is my brother-in-law. He has lived with us since the sudden loss of Diana's brother, David. So, yeah, we shrug things off in this household like no big deal. Yeah, come on in. He needs a place to stay. He lived for the longest time with his brother, Kevin. He's on disability. Can't work. I got a couple of little health ticks going on when he was living with his brother in this bachelor pad. I don't know if he was going to the doctor on regular interval, but now with his sister being, I guess, I don't want to say in charge, but Diana takes care of Kevin. And the way she takes care of Kevin is very involved. Kevin comes in here and right away is very comfortable. And I've detailed with you many times the nuances of Kevin and how he earned the name No Filter Kevin. So, that's just another layer in the Eric Zane Show podcast household. I just spit so bad you might have seen it on the camera. If you did, I want you to get that footage, Pellerito. It happened at about the hour 25 mark. So Diana's like, well, Kevin, all I ask is that you go to the doctor. Doctor, dentist, eye doctor, whatever it may be. I don't want to lose another brother. He's like, oh boy. He's not too happy with that. Again, these ward boys, They don't do doctors. And he kind of has to, because in order to get this particular medicine, he has to get a physical. The medicine, he has to get it because of the epilepsy. He hasn't had a seizure in years after the brain surgery and the medicine. So now that he was on the east side of the state, now he's here. You got to start from scratch. You got to get a doctor. So we transfer the records over, and we booked the appointment months ago. Yesterday's the day, and dude's sweating it, man. And for a period of time, he's like, I'm like, Kevin, I want to go in there, just to hear the doc talk, because you don't do great with details. Then he was like, no, I don't want that. And then finally I was like, yes, okay, we'll do that. So now Kevin is notorious for blowing up at things that you wouldn't blow up at. If you listen to me for any amount of time, he swears at shit that you can't believe, like the frozen foods at Meijer. He swears at the food, like it's in the frozen section, and they didn't have the right type of Chinese food, so he called the food like cocksuckers, told the food to fuck off, and gave the food the finger through the glass of the freezer. What the fuck is going on here? Just crazy shit. And I was concerned about the actual appointment of when we're in there with the doc, of these outbursts. And I was on heightened alert as we're getting into the truck, my dad's truck that I bought off him, the Embellisher. This truck's it's higher up, it's an old school Silverado. So it looks, the truck is the type of truck that you would expect to see like truck nuts hanging off of it and a big Trump flag and, shit like that. And so his legs don't work as well as yours and mine because of something going on. That's part of the reason why we're going to the doctor. Now, last time he got into the truck, I gave him I go, hey, man, when you're getting in, I was standing there going to help him in. This is the last time we got into the truck. It's been months. I go, grab this handle here up on the ceiling of when you get in, there's that handle there you hang on to if you're going four-wheeling or something. I go, just grab this handle and it's going to be easy to get in. And so it was. But he had forgotten the handles there. And I had forgotten to tell him. So I just got in. I'm sitting there on the passenger side, and there he is getting in, and it's not going well. And then I was alerted that it's not going well because I heard, fucking shit, fucking cocksucker, motherfucking, what the fucking shit, fucking. And then I'm hearing it through actual gritted teeth. You know that? So it's different if I'm saying fucking bullshit. It sounds different. It was like, fucking bullshit, cocksucker, motherfucking shit, fuck, son of a bitch, cock, see you next Tuesday, motherfucking shit, cock, fuck, shit, fuck, damn, fuck, shit, fuck. I look over and go, what the I go, what's up, buddy? And he goes, what the fucking cock, shit, fuck. Now his middle finger's up. So to get into the car, it's going to be a harder thing because he's only using one hand that has what we suspect is neuropathy. And it's only two fingers work. So the one hand's like grabbing at the air, the left hand. It's not doing anything. The legs are it's tough. And then the right hand has middle finger duty. So fucking shit, fucking. And he's giving the finger to the dashboard now. Okay. And I'm like, oh man, fuck, here we go. So I'm like, oh man. So I'm like, okay. And I grab the arm and I go, oh yeah, here we go, buddy. We're getting to know. And then I go, what? But before I go, what's up? He goes, this fucking truck too fucking big. Fucking, I can't fucking get in. Fucking shit. Fuck, shit, fuck. I go, oh my God. So I gotta get him in there. I go, all right. And he's like, shit. I go, oh, fucking hey, man, here we go. This is the big one. We're going to be on the news. We're going to get into the exam room. Something's not going to go right. He's going to kick the nurse in the face. And then it's going to be like, you know, when Godzilla rampages, he's going to fling open the door and he's going to just go stomping through the hall. And then the cops are going to have to shoot him with a fucking taser. And then I'm going to be like, no. And they're going to tase me because I'm like getting involved, you know, and it's all going to be on the news. Oh, man, this is all going through my brain. I'm like, please, God, no. So he buckles up. Off we go. All right, win. Kind of letting that filter through. Get there early. Check-in, virtual check-in, you know, from the parking lot. You got to call the deal. They do it all. The less time you're in there, the less chance you're going to get COVID or transmitted or whatever the fuck. And then, you know, I'm just going to leave it right there because, you know, I don't want to tell you about some of the particulars that go on if it's he's fine. I'm pretty happy about how this went because what I was worried about, some type of alarming thing happening while the actual meeting with the doctor was going down. This doctor was just fantastic, terrific bedside manner. And if there was anything that was getting off the rails in the explanations while he's talking to my man, he would diffuse that quite easily. And I sat down and I said, yeah, I'm just here to be eyes and ears. You know, I mean, just Kevin asked me to gather information for him. So, now the beauty of it is now he's going to be able to get a checkup to further work on, you know, they ordered some blood work, but and then hopefully we'll be able to get this worked out where his hands can, because he has this issue. He has no strength in the hands and then the lower extremities. So keep your fingers crossed. I think he's I got a couple of tests that take place. So I don't know a ton, but I don't think we have anything going on where it's like life threatening or anything like that. That was the point of all of this, to get him in front of the doctor. But I tell you what, those handful of minutes getting into the truck, I'm like, oh my God, what the hell is going on? Yeah, I don't have any real high point moments outside of that. I was a little concerned because we got to the point with the doc where the doc is now going to do like the exam. And I go, hey, you know, I'm going to check out here because I don't want to be in the room when another human being is getting a finger in his keister. Yeah. So I said, hey, yeah, I'm out. I'm in the lobby. Okay. So I go out and I have no idea where to go. I'm lost. It's a labyrinth. And I'm like, so I start walking around, and thank God I ran into the nurse, and I go, hey, man, how the hell do I get out of here? He goes, oh, yeah, you make a left and then a right, and you go straight, and you come back, and then you make a left or right. You go down the steps, you go up the steps, left, right, 2 doors, through the window, out into the street, back in, and then you're right there. I go, okay, great. I go, there's no way Kevin is going to get this. Impossible. There is no way in hell. So I'm like, what do I do? So I realized this after I get out. The door is locked. I cannot go back into the hallway area. And I don't want to say anything. So you can see in there. So I go, well, what to do? I'm just looking. And I decided that if I see him, I'm gonna wave him down. And sure enough, man, he comes around a corner and he's looking left and right. He has no idea, and he goes the wrong way. So now he's walked out of my sight. I'm like, oh shit. So then he comes back into this intersection of hallways, and he doesn't know where to go. You know, it's a labyrinth. And I'm waving, and people in the lobby are looking at him like, Gavin, he can't hear me. And I'm waving, and he's like, what the fuck? And so now I'm waiting to see the middle fingers. I'm waiting for him to give the finger to hallway. Because that's how it's going to go. I go, any second now, Vesuvius is going to blow, and he's going to be giving the finger to the hallway. And if anybody is there, he's going to give them the finger too, and call them, see you next Tuesday, or the N-word. I'm not kidding, or something like that. So, oh, shit, and he disappears again. I'm like, oh, fuck, shit. And then finally he comes back and his face is red. We're getting ready to see double barrel Brian Cox middle fingers. And then I'm Kevin. Oh, he sees me. I couldn't find you. I didn't know where to go. I go, I hear you, brother. I couldn't find it either. Thank God you saw me. Thank Christ. Thank God. Comes out, off we go. We made it. Because you need to know this. When I say give the finger to people, here's the story. Years ago, Dave and Kevin lived in West Michigan. They moved here, and I reached out to some sources and gained them employment as custodians at Spectrum. Now, Kevin, I didn't realize was turning into this with this type of blows stack type historic moments like this, which have led to many, many stories on this show. Thus, the name No Filter Kevin. Kevin got fired, and the story goes that Dave, was really laid back, they go into the cafeteria, and they got their trays, and they're going along the silver bars, and you get your little pie with the plastic over it, and you get your silverware with the napkin, you put it on there, and then you go, and there's a cook there who's going to serve you up whatever. It's one of those styles. And so I think it was the hash browns. I'm pretty sure they wanted Kevin wanted he loved the hash browns. The cook there was awesome at it. And Kevin said, "Hey, man, I'll take the hash browns. I love that shit, man. I love that sons of bitches." And the cook said, "Oh, we're out of them." And Kevin said, "Well, fuck you." And gave him the fucking finger. He extended that finger, that historic finger, and said, "Yeah, well, fuck you." And then the dude serving it goes, "What the fuck just happened?" And then Dave's just looking at him like, "Oh, no." And then sure enough, "Hey, Kevin, can we see you in the office here?" And he gets in there. "Yeah, you told the server, you gave him the finger and said, fuck you. Well, it had the fucking hash browns. I don't give a fuck. Fucking shit. Fuck shit, son of a bitch. Oh, my God. You got to go, man. Here, go home." That was it. That's how it ended. That was the last job. My God. Part of me wishes he was back, that one of the sponsors could hire him just for entertainment purposes only. And just so we could have more stories. But that's the level we're dealing with. So you can understand my fear when I'm in the lobby and I'm seeing him walk through my vision at intersections of the hallway getting lost. I'm like, oh, God, please don't run into a person. Please don't run into a person. He didn't. Thank God. We're good. That's probably going to have to happen at one point. There is going to be a point, I think, where there's going to be an incident. I'm going to have to say, brother, we need to dial this back here. We cannot be giving random dogs and kids and sweatshirts and frozen food the finger anymore. And my truck, we can't, in the hallway, we can't give the finger to those things anymore. We gotta eliminate giving the finger. I think if we take that off of the menu options and drop the obscenities and the gritted teeth and the rage and all of those things going forward, I think that's going to make us all winners in the long run. I think we need to examine our middle finger usage. It's resulted in a lot of content in the podcast, but the last thing I want to do is have my priest getting the middle finger because he said hi. It's seriously, we're gonna have to rein that in a little. Oh boy. All right. So pretend you're a pigeon and you're in Oregon and you're with a bunch of other pigeon nerds and then it's pigeon race time. No, I don't know shit about pigeon racing, but I think it's like you go, all right, go, and then you throw it, and then it knows where to fly, and whatever pigeon gets to the next point first wins the race. Well, that's it. Believe it or not, you know who's big on that is Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is an expert on raising and racing pigeons. True. But so there's this dude who, strangely enough, his name is Kevin Bird. Not making it up. In Australia, Kevin Bird goes wandering out of his house, and he sees a pigeon in his backyard really tired. And he's like, what? He discovers an exhausted bird in Melbourne, Australia on December 26th. And he's like, what is going on? What is this bird doing here? Oh, my God. And I can walk right up to it. And it's not even flying away. It turns out the bird was tired. Well, he has been like nursing the bird back to health, this pigeon. And now they've learned that they know where the bird is from. It came from the U.S. This pigeon flew from Oregon all the way 8,000 miles across the Pacific Ocean and wound up in Australia. And so you're like, wow, this is incredible. This is just unbelievable. A guy, Kevin Bird in Melbourne, Australia, finds a bird, and he's fed the bird, given it food. The bird is now going to live. What to do with this racing, homing pigeon? Well, Australia is going to kill it. And I'm not making that up. They're going to kill the bird. I guess Australia goes hard on animals coming into the country. Do you remember years ago, who was the celebrity's name? He played in Pirates of the Caribbean. Ryan Reynolds. Help me here. This is one of those moments where the gears spin in my head. George Clooney. That's it. He played Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean. That doesn't feel right. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. They tried to bring in their dogs into Australia. And they said, fuck you. We're going to kill your dogs unless you get them out by sundown. And they had to hire a charter jet. This is back in 2015. And these two idiots actually tried to smuggle the dogs in. They were Yorkshire Terriers into Australia. Well, like I said, Australia goes hard on this shit because they're of the opinion that animals can have infectious diseases. And so they have a policy. I mean, it's serious. Any animals coming in, get out or dead. So they were going to kill the dogs. And they ended up having to get them out, and they made it out on a chartered jet, they were like mobilizing the weaponry and the tanks to kill the Yorkshire Terriers in Australia. Well, so you got to believe that a pigeon that comes flying in out of nowhere, they're going to kill it. And they are. It's happening. The bird's going to die. And they are serious as a heart attack. In Australia, they take animals coming in as serious as we take, Al-Qaeda. Despite the, and I don't get it. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. This bird actually does belong to somebody in Oregon. This racing pigeon. And why don't you just take it and send it the fuck back? I mean, on a plane or something, or do something. Why do you have to kill it? I'm not really clear. Experts suspect that the pigeon that they named Joe after President-elect Biden, what? I don't know, showed up, was helped along after it hitched a ride on a cargo ship to cross the Pacific. Because that would be quite a thing if it flew 8,000 miles. Because Canada geese, they make up tremendous ground because they fly in that formation. And the lead one takes all the freaking force of the air. And then that creates a jet stream. And the other ones, don't use as much energy. And then when the one in the front gets tired, the one in the front goes, all right, I'll take over, which, by the way, is absolutely phenomenal that they know how to do that. You ever think about that? How they know how to conserve energy? Proof that they're like a higher life form from another planet. Joe's fetus attracted the attention of the Australian media, but also the notoriously strict Australian Quarantine and Inspection Service. Kevin Bird said quarantine authorities called him on Thursday to ask him to catch the bird. Wait a second. How did the word get out? Did Kevin Bird announce it? He has to know the quarantine rules. Why would you tell anybody that you have, if you don't want the bird to die, you don't tell anybody. They say if it is from America that they're concerned about bird diseases. They wanted to know if I could help them out. I said, well, to be honest, I can't catch it anymore. I can get within 20 inches of it, and now it moves. It's regained its strength. He said quarantine authorities were now considering getting a professional bird catcher. This is the type of thing, once the story catches on, that now there's going to be like a big groundswell to try to keep them from killing the bird. The Agriculture Department, which is responsible for biosecurity, said the pigeon was not permitted to remain in Australia because it could compromise Australia's food security and their wild bird populations. It poses a direct biosecurity risk to Australian bird life and our poultry industry. Oh my God! How'd you like to be the guy who's got to kill the damn thing? And how do they go about doing it? Do they just do it like the way I got rid of the hamster and just throw it against a tree, or do they? I mean, what goes on with this? What an awful thing to do. Dude talked about how it went that he caught the bird, how it was tired, and then he gave it some food, gave it some water, managed to catch the bird. Dude says he has no interest in birds, apart from his last name, said he could no longer catch the pigeon with his bare hands since it had regained its strength. Why does it just fly away? He said the Oklahoma-based American Racing Pigeon Union confirmed that Joe was registered to some dude in Montgomery, Alabama. Kevin Bird attempted to contact the owner, but hasn't been able to do it. How? We live in the technology age. How can you not reach the guy? The bird spends every day in the backyard, sometimes sitting side by side with a native dove on a pergola. Don't know what that is. Kevin Bird's been feeding it pigeon food from within days of its arrival, so now the thing won't leave Kevin Bird's house. I think that he just decided that since he's been given some food, he's gotten a spot to drink, so this is his new home. So now that they're going to go hard on this damn pigeon. So, I gotta stay updated. But Turner said the Australian National Pigeon Association Secretary Brad Turner said he had heard of cases of Chinese racing pigeons reaching the Australian west coast above cargo ships. He said there were genuine fears pigeons from the U.S. could carry exotic diseases, and he agreed Joe should be destroyed. Oh, come on, man. We need a good story for a change. We need one. I mean, let the fucking pigeon live. Just get it back to the U.S. somehow. There's got to be a way. My God, seriously, there's got to be a better outcome to this. If you see an update before I do, send it my way. Thank you again to the Steffes Group of Keller Williams Realty for being the realtor of choice of the Eric Zane Show podcast. It's been way too long since I've been to his website. If you go to thesteffesgroup.com, click contact, submit your name, your email address, what you want to do, and a message, and submit that bad boy. Reach out to them, and they will be back in touch with you very, very soon. The Steffes Group of Keller Williams Realty will work tirelessly in listing your home, making sure that the right people see it, and all of those things that go with this process. If you're looking for a home, they have listings as well. It doesn't matter if you see a listing that has nothing to do with Henry. That's still all good. He is your realtor, and this is your West Michigan real estate team. TheSteffesGroup.com. Reach out to them. If you're listing your home, if you're looking for a home, by all means, have a couple other people that you have possibly as doing the same thing, but at least give Henry a chance so that he can talk to you and tell you how his method is so much more effective than anyone else's. You will love Henry Steffes and the folks at the Steffes Group of Keller Williams Realty. And then last but not least, my friends at F45 in Byron Center, Michigan. Yesterday, the big news concerning the pandemic is that you can now work in a group exercise setting. Now, they've been working at F45 in Byron Center, Michigan, with spots taped on the floor that you have to stay in those boundaries. That's fine. So they've been able to stay open during those recent closures. But now in Michigan, you can, the governor is loosening the reins quite a little bit, not entirely. Restaurants, not till February 1. It's okay. I understand you're pissed off. No need to beat a dead horse. We know you're pissed. It's okay. It's got to be over before you know it. Buy it, takeout for now. But they can work out at F45 in Byron Center, Michigan. F45training.com/Byron Center. Again, the letter F, the number 4, the number 5, training.com/Byron Center. Click where it says free trial. You work out for 1 week free, and you are going to love it. My God, thank you to them. They sponsor the YouTube, and I want you to reach out to them if you want to start a workout plan. And you really should. I mean, my God, if you are not doing something every single day, that means the only thing you are doing is making excuses. And that's horrible. You are hurting yourself. You need to work out every single day. I don't care what it is. But if you want to work out in a group setting and really kick it into high gear, utilize F45 in Byron Center, Michigan. Am I judging you because you're not exercising? Yes, I am. All right. You must do something every single day because you know why? The people who love you want you healthy. That's all I need to say every time. It's not about anything other than you living a long, productive life for the ones that you love because they just want you. And go for a walk. Go, as Joe Rogan said, go walk up a hill. Do some gardening. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be, you're winning Mr. Universe, but do something for God's sake. All right. I talked yesterday about, opening up the front door, and I got a package from Red State Dirk sends me this handy holder for my phone. Kenny sends me this so that my hand doesn't hurt. I get packages all the time from you amazing listeners. So I see one on the porch yesterday, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what that is. Maybe it's for Diana. No, it's for me. It's for me. And then I know right away that it's from Mike Pellerito, because on the return address, he goes with the old school PA prank name of last name Dinpoon, first name Barry. At least I think that's what I remember. It's a package from Barry Dinpoon, which is one of my favorite PA pranks names of all time. I agreed in my brain some time ago to leave PA pranks alone and let them be classic in their own right. Plus, it's just too damn much work to go and get one, being the schedule that I run now. But my God, Barry Dinpoon getting announced on a PA is just fantastic. I don't know which one I like the best. Barry Dinpoon, last name Lerfondler, first name Todd. What the fuck? I'll never forget it. I was in Chicago for one of those stupid fucking radio camps, which I hated every one of them. Got someone at a store, a gift shop, to page a person with the last name Puninfant. Starts with a P, Puninfant. First name Manda Ray. So we're all sitting there, Greg, Chris, Eric, Joe, and we hear, attention, please. If there's a Manda raping infant in the store, would you please come to the front, please? We're looking for a Manda raping infant. That one actually crossed the line. It's like we just said on the radio, a guy said on the radio, if there's a man to rape an infant in the store, will you please come to the front? My God. And right now there's probably some of you going, man to rape an infant. I don't get it. Keep saying it to yourself. Probably not out loud in the presence of others. You'll get it. So Barry Dinpoon sends me a package, and it's heavy. Now, do you remember not long ago I told you about the New Year's resolution to get rid of the clutter, and that extended to the refrigerator? The thank you for your service mentality when it comes to there's no reason to have 7 full bottles of mustard in your refrigerator. Eric, how did you obtain 7 bottles of mustard? Well, every time we go up to Grayling, we're going to eat hamburgers and hot dogs. And so I would always forget the mustard. So I go over to Glenn's. It's a family fair now, but I call it Glenn's because that's what it was. And, you walk in and everybody there, they all got the 1,000-yard stare. They're all Graylinified. They're all that Northern Michigan type of vibe. You walk in and you're like, oh God, man, you're in deep. And you want to have a low profile, so you got to dress like them, you got to behave like them. So I walk in and I go to where the mustard is, and I would get a mustard every time I'd go. And then I'd come home, I put the mustard right in the fridge. I have 7 bottles of mustard. Well, I told the story that I threw all the mustard away. And what does fucking Barry Dinpoon, Mike Pellerito do? He sends me 6 full bottles of family fare mustard. My gosh. I posted it on Twitter. And so he says, yeah, give them away when you're playing Bet on Ben. It's like, yeah. Would you, if you're an audience member, be interested in an autographed bottle of Eric Zane Show podcast, Bet on Ben, Patreon mustard? Well, all right, I guess. So I'm giving away 6 stupid-ass bottles of mustard on the Patreon, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. If anyone even wants it. And then I got to get it to you. So then there's the mailing the fucking bottle of mustard. So I don't know. Maybe it might be symbolic, but I guess we'll try to give them away. Thanks, Mike, for the replacement mustard. Unbelievable. Okay, I think we're done. Okay, I appreciate you. You guys are great as always. I cannot say enough about the audience members. You've helped out and made me very, very happy. Thank you. If you like this podcast, subscribe, rate, and review. I will talk to you in just a little bit on the Patreon. Till next time, bye-bye.